Welcome back, witness number 1 and number 2. For continuation of your testimonies before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters, I want to remind both of you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you, Madam Chair, over to you.
Mr. Camara, Mr. Batchily, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you,
Council, you may proceed.
Yes. Mr. Camara, so we proceed on some of the communications that we have in the exhibit that you have tendered.
Yes.
Yes.
Before we leave the Makombasane agenda, I want to contribute one point, and that point is 2018 to date.
Yes.
We have had many Makombasanes in council, okay. And then they've been a big drain to council's resources. And then a circular came to the CEO that appointment and employment of certain grade is vested in the Local Service Commission.
Yes.
But 2018 to date, we have had so many appointment and employments that we have gone through the contract way of doing things and overseer doing things.
Yes.
That is illegal and not correct. And as a Director of Finance, I have written to him and written to the ministry, copied him about the huge staff wage bill. That is a big drain on our budget, because over 30 people are on contract and they have not been appraised and they are not bringing anything to council. They are not adding value in any way. And if appointment and employment is to be done, the circular have said it should be the Public Local Service Commission. And I have a letter to share that I wrote to that effect, and it fell on deaf ears to this day.
We apply tender a letter addressed to the chairman, Local Government Service Commission, from Momodou, Camara, Director of Finance, 18 January 2024, to be admitted into evidence and marked as an exhibit. Topic is the status of contract staff huge wage bill.
A letter dated the 18th of January 2024. The letter is addressed to the Chairman, Local Government Service Commission, and it has the subject status of contract staff, huge wage bill. The letter is signed by Momodou Camara, Director of Finance. This letter is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/031.
As the Commission places. Now, let's just proceed with the CEO. There is a task force report with respect to the review of operational and finance activities of Banjul City Council. It's November 2018. You recall this?
Yes.
Good. But we will get into that detail at some point, in this deliberation. Now, allowances were increased, Mr. Batchily. The Director of Finance wrote to you on the 1st of March 2021 and stated, I wish to take this decision to seek for approval to implement 50% and 25% increment of all council allowances on standard terms. This is against the backdrop of Finance Committee's approval and the subsequent approval of General Council. Do you recall this increment?
Can I kindly see the
Yes.
memo letter?
One of the documents we've asked you to bring as well is the increment of allowances that happened during your time. You still haven't found those documents?
No, those are the ones I'm supposed to bring.
Okay, please look at that.
Seen it.
What are those allowances about, the increment, and the justification for those allowances?
There are a combination of allowances, different allowances, I think, but maybe if you could help us see us through, because I might not remember all of them.
If I can help you?
If you could kindly help us go through
The memo?
The allowances.
No, we haven't seen all we see is there's a 50% increment and 25% increment.
Yeah.
So now you have confirmed seeing this allowance, so we will now give you a copy and you can go and guide us through this increment. What was it for? What was the justification, the approval that were granted towards this increment?
Okay.
Now, there was a travel that Mr. Makuba Sane, wrote a request for travel 2 days per diem to accompany the mayors. Now, what do you look into when Mr. Sane is to travel? What are the supporting documents that are supposed to be present?
If, for example, he's accompanying the mayor,
Yes.
Normally the reasons for the visit, like an invitation letter,
Yes.
or any other evidence of the travel that they're supposed to do.
Yes. Mr. Sane traveled, I just read the letter not long ago. It's here. On the 29th of January 2021, wrote to the CEO.
Yeah.
And it reads, this is to inform you that I will be traveling for 2 days. Official trip on Friday, 29th of January 2020, January to 30th of January 2020, to North Bank with the mayor of Banjul. That's where it stops.
Okay.
Where it stopped. So no reason for the travel. And you wrote to the Director of Finance and said, DOF facilitate payment.
Yeah.
Is this sufficient document?
No, but normally it should be accompanied by the two that I have mentioned earlier.
By, yes, yes. So we will need that too, because if he is to
What was
benefit
the specific date involved?
29th of January 2021, again you can get a copy of it. Allowances were deducted from Miss Aisetunjai of Rafela, was paid $1,500 as allowance, correct? Now first, Aisetunjai was paid this fixed allowance.
Yes.
Why? Why a fixed allowance?
By virtue of Rafela's association.
No,
and
but
business.
number one, we talked about that, but more so, the Rafela partnership didn't say you have to pay a monthly allowance, and I don't think there's an approval for a monthly allowance. Allowances are supposed to be approved by the ministry, correct? Allowances, the law says, are to be approved. There's a procedure for
Yes, through the budget.
through the budget, and yes, and then that did not happen.
Can I also have a means of verifying that?
Yes,
Please.
yes. You can the minutes are here, so for every minute that we draw to your attention, you can always see Ms. Geneva to get it from her.
All right.
Is that not the case?
Yeah.
Now, the issue here is there is a letter addressed to you from the Rohimali Women and Girls Empowerment Initiative by Makomasane to have these allowances transferred to the initiative, the allowance of Aisetunjai to be transferred to the initiative. Do you understand this?
You mean the payment to be effected through the initiative? Or?
Yes. It says, I hereby write to request for deduction of the 1,500 for Ms. Aisetunjai. I forward to your attention the monthly deduction of 1,500 from the allowance received by her at the end of each month as payment to the Rohim Malik Law Women and Girls Empowerment Initiative through Team Rohim Malik Law. Can you transfer allowances?
No. If I could recall or remember what you are saying, I think it was to do with...
You want to see it?
Yeah, please. Then I explain. First of all, I would want further clarification as to which of the Aisetunjai is it?
The one?
The one who was the staff or the one who was working for the Rafela?
Rafela.
The one who was working for the Rafela?
Yes.
Okay, I think if I could recall at some point, this initiative, they are giving petty loans to some people across the board.
Right.
And she happened to be working with the council. And then the council was...
Just working with the council?
The Rafela, through Rafela. And then...
No, don't say working with the council.
Okay. With Rafela.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then some of them, I think, they owed monies. So through the allowances that used to be paid to her, then these deductions were supposed to...
Who gave them loan?
I think his initiative gave them loan.
How does that concern you?
Yeah, because the thing is, she was having an allowance from the council.
Right.
So this was a means of recovering their money.
Is the allowance budgeted for? The answer is no.
The allowance that we were paying
Rafela staffs?
Rafela staff. I think it's budgeted, yes.
I asked last time as well for you to bring the budget and guide us through the allowance.
Yeah, you know, those were the documents I'm still having to bring.
Yes. Okay.
So maybe
but it's a while, Mr. Batchily. The budget, so you guide us through these payments. It's been a while.
Leeds Council, I've been here getting to now 3 weeks.
Okay.
For
That is why
the whole day.
That's why we want to release you today so that you can, that's true, so that you can request for the budget and then.
Yeah, so these are some of the things that I need to bring. We
Okay.
can have further clarification.
Very well. But the bottom line is, can you transfer an allowance? You cannot transfer an allowance.
Now, what I'm trying to explain is that, for example, I work for the city council.
Right.
For example, I work for the city council.
Right.
And I'm owing monies outside.
Right.
And then maybe those debtors, those creditors are not having a certainty as to how I'm going to repay them.
Right.
So they write to those
Right.
who pay my remuneration
Yes.
and try to get it from them.
Yes.
That's my understanding.
No. Salary. If you want your salary to be paid somewhere else, maybe. But if you even have an account, even the bank, when they give out loans, there is a guideline, right? There's a limit.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Is that not the case? If your entire salary goes to the bank, that will not be allowed. Correct?
Yes.
That cannot be allowed. Even 1/6, the government itself that pays you salary, not allowance, salary cannot even take all the salary they pay you based on a loan that they gave you.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So you have to have at least 60%. Is it 60%? 60% with you. Is that not the case?
Remaining, yeah.
Yes. So why is that important?
Maybe to give you something to take home.
No. They are not interested in what you take home. They are interested in making sure what they pay you, you will use that money to continue doing the job. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So that you will not have cause to say
I'm not paid.
you cannot perform the work effectively because you do not have finances.
Yeah.
Is that not the case?
Yep.
Now, that is for salary, which you even have entitlement to spend anyhow you want as a general rule. Your allowances, why are you paid an allowance? Allowances, they are not static, they are not permanent, they are not fixed.
Yeah.
They are paid for a reason. I told Mr. Camara, if they give you telephone allowance, it should be for what? To make phone calls, correct?
Yeah.
Can you make private phone calls for your telephone allowance? As a rule, the answer is no.
Well, the main purpose will be to make calls.
The only purpose is we are not asking as to what we do it for.
Relating to the job.
The only purpose is to, in furtherance of your official capacity, right?
Yeah.
Your transport allowance, all the necessary. That's why there are classification of allowances. That's the reason why allowances are given. So if you are given an allowance and then you now transfer that allowance for some other initiative that is even outside the council's interest, is that fair? Is that proper?
No.
That will not be proper. Now, why would you now transfer the allowance?
Yeah, because the initiative, that was the only means maybe of
No, we have now said it's not proper.
getting their monies back.
No, that's not your concern. Do you work for the initiative?
Yes.
You work for the
No,
initiative?
I don't work for the
You have an interest in the initiative?
No.
So why does it concern you as CEO?
No.
So why should it concern you?
I thought it was in order.
No, but
for,
why
for
should
them,
it?
for them to recover their money.
No, but why should it concern you? How they recover their money? Why should it concern you?
Well, by right, it should not concern me.
Good. But it only concern you because the mayor is involved and you have a working relationship with the mayors.
Say so.
Correct?
Yeah.
That's the reality. And so we put interest, personal interest above the regulations. Mr. Batchily, this brings me to the reason as to why you are doing all this. I was just going through the task force report for 2018. Correct? Who was the Director of Finance during this period? In 2018, who was your Director of Finance during the task force?
They first started.
The exhibit number is.
They first started.
The exhibit number is BCC/ATMN/003. Who was the Director of Finance?
I think Mr. Nyang was there for a month.
Mr. Nyang.
Month or so, and then Mohammed Cham came.
And Mohammed Cham.
Yes.
Was Mama Cham, was his service terminated?
No.
How did he leave the council?
No, his service was not terminated.
How did he leave the council?
You mean who, Mr. Yang?
Yes. No, Mr. Cham.
He did not leave the council.
What happened?
No, I said after Mr. Yang, then came Mr. Cham as the acting director of finance.
Yes. So for how long was Mr. Cham there?
2018 up to November 2020.
And what happened with him?
Then a new director of finance was brought in.
Mr. Camara?
Yes.
And what was Mr. Cham's role?
Mr. Cham at some point was seconded to the EU project.
That's the finance manager.
Yes.
So he was director of finance from 2018 to 2020, acting.
As acting,
correct?
Yes.
And so this task force is applicable to him. When they say director of finance, he is the one that they're referring to?
That's why I told you that the force
that's 1 month.
dealt with, yes. With
That's
Mr.
1
Yang,
month. For
and then
the rest would be Mr. Cham.
Mr. Cham, yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And so when the recommendation for actions to be taken against the director of finance, they're referring to Mr. Cham, right?
No.
Correct?
No. I think that should be Mr. Yang.
That's what?
That should be Mr. Yang.
Mr. Nyang.
Yeah.
Okay, let me. I will give you the task force. So Mr. Nyang ceased working for the area council at some point.
At some point, yes.
How?
I think it was dismissed by the Local Government Service Commission.
Okay. Why was he dismissed? Based on this report.
And I think
Mainly based on this report.
and also the audit reports.
Okay. Did you write? Who wrote to the service commission?
Who wrote to the Service Commission?
Right.
Initially the council.
Okay. And they recommended for his dismissal?
No.
The council never recommended for his dismissal?
No.
What did they write about?
Council wrote and suspended him
Okay.
for the task force to complete their work.
Did they suspend you?
No,
Why?
I don't know.
You know why they didn't suspend you?
I don't know.
Okay. So when they wrote to suspend him, do you have that letter? Please provide us with that letter of suspension.
I'll check with the council.
Did they write to you?
No,
Why?
the council, I don't know.
I'm just asking.
They did not write to me, no.
No, but I'm just asking. So if you don't know, just tell me you don't know, Mr. Batchily. I just want to know. I just want to get the facts out. He was suspended.
Yeah.
After the suspension, after the report, did they write to the Service Commission, the council, in relation to Mr. Nyang's conduct?
Yes. I think so, yes.
And they recommended for him to be dismissed based on his conduct, correct?
Yes.
Why not you? Why were you excluded from this? The task force mentioned you. It implicated you seriously, is that correct?
Yes, but I don't know why they did not do that.
Okay. But you were equally mentioned and implicated by a task force report. That's correct,
Yeah.
Good. Now let me read to you what the task force report says. The recommendation. This will be found on page. Okay. The page is not numbered. Is it numbered? 67. Says 6 recommendations that the task force during the last 4 months endeavored to look into all activities of council. It was, however, not possible to do a review of all the areas, but we recovered enough to assist us in making conclusions and recommendations. It is important to note that there is the need to conduct a full audit of the council. This would help determine the level of waste management and possible fraud at the council given the amounts of unexplained expenditure. Now, let me just stop there for now. Mr. Batchily, where the finances are mismanaged, there is all reason to conclude that it is fraudulent in nature. You understand that? So that is a language. Even the Procurement Act speaks that language. If you look at the definition of fraud, it talks about influence and all of those things. When the decisions are made based on influence or cohesion, you conclude that it was done fraudulently. Correct? Now, this is what the report is saying, that this will determine the level of waste management and possible fraud at the council given the amounts of unexplained expenditures. Given that the CEO under the Act is the accounting officer of council, responsible for the general management and supervision of the financial and accounting operations, the task force conclude that he has woefully failed in his responsibilities given the magnitude of mismanagement at the council. In addition, the Director of Finance, whose responsibility is to control expenditure, was in effect the main abuser of the system. The task force makes the following recommendations. That is 6.1 administrative recommendations. 1, there is the need to introduce fresh thinking and a more focused leadership at the council. You have seen this before?
Yes, I've seen it.
2, the council should have autonomy even if it requires reviewing the Local Government Act. 3, the council should consider recruiting a new executive officer, Director of Finance, Director of Administration, and Director of Planning, and a mechanical manager to lead this change. You see this. They recommended for your removal. Correct?
Yes.
Good. And together with the Director of Finance, Director of Administration, and mechanical manager. Mr. Nyang was removed, but Mr. Nyang's boss was not removed. Why do you think so? That was the case.
Sorry, late council, I don't have an answer to that.
Were you ever called by the mayor to discuss this? Your recommendation to remove you?
No.
She never called you?
No.
Council never called you?
No.
Did they call Mr. Nyang? Did they write any disciplinary action against you?
No.
Did they write to you in any form regarding this?
No.
Did they recommend to the council, to the commission, the Government Service Commission, to look into your matter or dismiss you?
No.
Do you think that's fair?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Do you not think they kept you there for a reason?
I wouldn't know.
The reason being that the mayoress would now use this against you, to be able to get you to do things that you know were wrong, and you continue to do it, knowing fully well that they are wrong. You aided the commissioner significantly in admitting to the fact that some of the things are wrong, and you knew it was wrong, but that was the status quo. Do you not think this is what they have against you?
It's possible.
Have you felt that way?
How do I?
Have you felt at any point in time that they are just trying to get you to do things in the wrong way, the things that are wrong, because it is as if you owe them an obligation, that they did a favor to you? Have it ever occurred to you in that manner?
No.
You never thought like that?
No.
But you never thought that you were being abused in a certain way to do things that are overtly wrong, that are clearly wrong, that you knew it was wrong?
The things that were responsible for most of those wrongs had to do with some structural issues around our working environment.
No.
From my interpretation.
No. These were things that you as the chief executive officer, see, the idea, when you refuse to sign a check or authorize a payment as CEO, the law says only you and the Director of Finance, the two of you, or any Director of Finance, I mean anyone occupying your positions, the two offices should be the one to endorse payment, to put pen on paper, to sign. Right?
Yes.
Where you fail to do so, if it is done wrongly, they can take action against you by taking procedural action against you and report you in the right manner, and that's it. You can't abuse that authority. But where the payments are wrong, you knew they were wrong, you still went ahead and paid them, there must be a reason. Now when we find this, we see that Mr. Nyang was sacrificed. That would be fair. He was sacrificed, not for doing something that's right, but for being the only person that pays the price for a whole institutional failure when the boss is present. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Yes, because he cannot endorse a payment without your, in fact, he, as Director of Finance, does not have authority for expenditure. We need to distinguish the two. The Director of Finance cannot decide, yes, this limit I can pay, that limit I can pay. What he can do is to check your powers. When you say pay 10,000, he goes back to the law, he goes back to the procedure, the accounting principle, and say, well, I do not see any supporting document, I do not see the request, I do not see this in line with the budget, and CEO, on what authority are we paying this? That's what he does, that's what he's supposed to do as Director of Finance. So the question as to let's pay comes from CEO. The question as to how do we pay comes from the Director of Finance.
And why should we pay?
Why should we pay? Comes from the Director of Finance. But let's pay comes from you.
Yeah.
That's the authority to incur expenditure. Now, to follow the procedure, he has to advise you. And in the minutes, he has to write, we do not see a supporting document for XYZ, there is no requisition, there is no, because the law provides for the necessary supporting documents. Correct?
Yes.
First, the budget. He tells you to pay 10 million. You say, let's pay $10 million. He says, well, it's not in the budget. How do we do with this, CEO? You get the point. And so that's why, at some point, if you can't provide a justification, he will say, well, I cannot sign. He should say that, I cannot sign. Where you provide justification, and it's correct, whether the payment is fictitious or not, if he does not know about it being fictitious, he may just sign because the probable documents are there. Whether they are fraudulent or not, if he does not find evidence of fraud, even if they are fraudulent, he should just authorize and pay. You get the point? Yeah. So you are the custodian. All these payments, let's say 90%, you are aware, you know. Whatever Mr. Nyang had paid, you knew. Correct? You authorized, you signed checks.
Yeah, because we signed together.
Yes, yeah, you signed together. So for whatever he had done, it's because you authorized it. So why would he go down and you do not go down?
That's a very interesting question, and yes. I want you to allow me to give my side of the story.
Yes.
Because for me, first of all, I was not a financial expert when I was being appointed. So I was heavily reliant on the financial guidance that was supposed to come. At some point you're saying it. You can write and say to the Director of Finance, pay this, and then the Director of Finance is in a position to write back to you and tell you that these payments, for example, should not be made because of reasons A, B, C, D, and E. That makes the partnership a lot more buoyant and also legal. That's the reason why you are saying it, that like the directors are my technical advisors. They should bring me forward solid reasons for things to be done. Because like I am just like a supervisor. I'm not specialized in any area. I'm not specialized in technical matters. I'm not specialized in financial matters. So for me, that was the concept I had over the years, that I should rely on strong technical advices coming from the directors to me to my office. Then, if for example, it has happened with Mohamed Cham. In fact, yesterday I was trying to look through my documents to see. At some point, there was a payment ever made, proposed for him to make. And then he wrote back to me, telling me that this payment is not feasible based on A, B, C, D, and E. For me, that's the structural journey.
Are you done?
That could come up. Yes.
Are you done?
Yes.
You know why, Mr. Batchily? See, the mayoress. In fact, are you still in that land from your mayoress, Marie Law? You seem to be still in that land from her. There is no room No room whatsoever for ignorance of the law. You see, when you...
No, lead counsel, I don't think you understand it. I'm not saying, I'm not talking from that perspective.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, the reason why the directors are there is to give the CEO technical advice and guide the CEO.
Yes. Partly you can say that.
Partly, yes. I think
you can say that. The primary function of the Director of Finance is not to give advice. You see, we have to understand it, and we understood it. The primary function of the Director of Finance is to serve as a check and balance.
No, I'm talking across the board to all the directors.
I'm talking about all the Directors of Finance.
Yes.
The role of the Director of Finance is not, the primary role is not to give you advice. It depends on what you mean by advice. You know, I believe Humpty Dumpty says, words mean what do you want them to mean. That's not the primary role. If what you are saying is what I understand, that is not the primary role. The primary role from the Director of Finance should be to serve as a check and balance to the rights of other authorities. See, the CEO has his mandate. The CEO has his powers, his rights, and his the discussion in some instance. The Director of Finance is to serve as a neutral working with the CEO, but to check the powers of the CEO, to remind the CEO that XYZ cannot be done, not because he does not know or she does not know, but because of the fact that he ought to know, and where he wants to deviate, I tell you, you don't have the right to do that. That's why you have two signatures. These two should be independent from each other. You work together, but you are independent from each other. You are the Director of Finance's boss. You don't have the powers to instruct him to sign. I don't know whether you know that. You have no authority. Any CEO has no authority to tell the Director of Finance, you must sign. That power does not exist. Because if you have that authority, do you know what it means? It means the two signatures are one and the same. It defeats the purpose of accountability. Correct?
Yeah.
It defeats the purpose of accountability. Where there is no independence, there is no thin line, it defeats the purpose of accountability. You guys will just prepare a check of 2 million, just come to his office, my friend, sign this. He signed it, and you go and withdraw, and you go your way. That's what people have. So that's not the intention. You knew it. The intention is to make sure there is a check on your powers. And where he also wants to prepare a payment voucher, you will also serve as a check. And the two of you, the mayor is supposed to serve as a check. And the three of you, the council is supposed to also serve as a check. So there should not be room for massive fraud or recurring fraud, because we have the internal auditor that will ultimately prepare quarterly reports. So if you have a 3-month period where you have abused your offices, it will not repeat in the second quarter because you would have been sacked. Do you understand? That is a normal administrative procedure. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So your powers, let me read again. The idea that you don't have financial qualification is not an excuse. The idea that any mayor, a mayoress, did not have the education or experience or whatsoever. You are the one who went to ask for the people to vote for you. You also are the one who applied for the job. And the job has criteria, qualification. The moment you knew you had no financial expertise, then it would have been dishonest on your side to apply for the job.
No, I disagree.
Why do you disagree, Mr.
Because
Batchily?
if you look at the functions of the chief executive officer,
Right.
there are some areas.
Guide me, you will have it. Where? The act or the financial manual?
No, the functions, where it stipulates the functions.
The different legislations provide for your functions. Which one are you referring to?
I'm making reference to the financial manual.
Let me give it to you. It's here. Do you have a copy?
No, I don't have a copy with me here.
Let me ask that you be given a copy, Mr. Batchily. I believe we have one here, page 8. page 8, the Chief Executive Officer, 202, section 202. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm page 8.
Do you want to read it out?
Let me, there's something I want to see.
You what?
I just want to see something.
Yes. No, you first refer us to this rule. Just read it out.
No, what I wanted to explain.
Please read it out first, and you can explain.
Yeah, but it's a bit different from what
You just read it out. You referred us to the rule. Is that not the case?
Yeah, but then, okay, anyway. It says here, he is personally responsible for...
So read it. Where it says, as the accounting, where it says the Chief Executive Officer, it starts from the word the Chief Executive Officer.
Shall be appointed by the Local Government Service Commission as prescribed in the Local Government Act 2002, Section 42, number 2.
Right.
As the accounting officer of councils, he or she shall be responsible for the general management and supervision of the financial accounting operations of councils,
right,
of the councils, and the safeguarding of councils' assets in accordance with Section 43(1), 2, 3 of the Local Government Act 2002, saying he is personally responsible for the due performance of the financial duties of council,
right,
the observance by employees of council and of all financial and accounting instructions.
So when I said that you should have experience and education in finance, would that be correct, going by the financial manual?
Please say it again.
So when I said that you are expected to have an experience in finance, it is correct? Because you disagreed.
No, maybe I don't think the council, you understood what I was trying to say. B. I
said to you, Mr. Batchily, that where you applied for the job and you knew it involves having knowledge in finance, you said no.
No, you see.
No, the facts are you said no to that. You disagreed with that.
What I was trying to say is, I'm not using that as an excuse.
No, let's first lay down the principle that you have to have knowledge in finance, going by what the law says. When you applied for the job, you were expected to know management, to know financial management. Is that a yes or a no?
Well, to some extent,
no, read it.
Extent,
the law says it.
Yeah.
It says, and supervision of the financial and accounting operations of the council. That's what it says. That you are to supervise the financial and accounting operations of council. That is what it says.
Yes.
And it says you are personally responsible for the due performance of the financial duties of council,
yes,
observance by employees of council of all financial and accounting instructions. How do you know that they are observing the financial instructions and principles if you don't have an idea what they are?
But then I can
proper disbursement of such monies from the purchase of goods. How do you know that monies can properly disbursed if you do not know the procedure for disbursement of funds? No. Ensuring adequate steps are taken for proper control of financial transactions. How would you know if you don't have an idea? Finance and accounting staff, in the exercise of his functions, the chief executive may delegate some of his roles. So you see, you have to have a knowledge. You have to have knowledge. Sorry.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily need an advanced knowledge in finance, because if you look at the requirements...
Okay, we proceed.
If
Mr.
you look at the requirements of the CEO, that's not stipulated there, that you need to have an advanced knowledge in finance.
Did I say advanced? No, I did not say advanced.
No, I'm just explaining to you.
Okay, we proceed on other issues. Is it?
From Mr. Batchily. Mr. Batchily, given the time you spent at the council,
yes,
and given the fact that you rose within the ranks to become the CEO of Banjul City Council,
yes,
do you think you may not have acquired the knowledge or the experience of how things are supposed to work
Yes.
And is that not part of the reason why you were appointed as CEO,
Yes.
having had experience
Yes.
by rising through the ranks,
Yes.
in addition to your qualifications
Yes.
as an administrator?
Yes.
Is that not why you were appointed?
Yes.
So when you tell us that you relied on the directors to give you technical advice, but was it not within your purview to make sure that you exert your supervisory role in trying to see to it that they are in compliance with the documents that gives you authority, and at the same time limit your authority in doing things, in the execution, of your duties?
Yes. I agree.
So, in saying that, would I be correct to say that it is not a correct statement?
Maybe if I have to change the statement, I can change statement. But then earlier on, what you said, I've
Yes.
agreed to all that. But what I was also trying to say was that, especially with reference to certain payments, like that have been made, I'm just saying that, under normal circumstances, for example, I just gave a tentative example. If I request for any director of finance to honor a payment, and the payment is seemingly not in order. For example, I am thinking that if I mean it to you as any director of finance, and you think, for example, through your expertise, because you have more expertise than myself in this area.
No,
if
Mr.
at all-
Batchily. No, let me just intervene. Sorry.
Yeah.
But these things have been happening repeatedly, and this is what lead counsel is putting to you, that these errors are repeatedly made. You could say the director of finance, for instance, Mr. Camara, when he just came, he was in high gear, and you may not have known how to deal with him, but then with time you knew. You were supposed to have said no. You were supposed to have said, let me look at your documents, because there were documents that were presented to you. We admitted a document yesterday,
Yes.
which he compiled, and these were extracts from the audit reports. Let me just limit myself to our area of mandate, 2018. He compiled 2016, 2017, 2018 of the auditor's concerns about payments, and you did nothing about it. So who do you have to blame now to say that your technicians did not give you advice? Because he went, not only did he look at what the auditors have said, but he compiled it and said, this is what they said. Now, what do we do? It was for you as the overall boss to say, okay, we have problem with the collectors, and all this issue about the collectors not doing their job was facilitated by the senior management, because they refused categorically to make sure that these people are dealt with. And your books are correct. When you do your assessment, you know what you are supposed to collect at the end of the year. But nobody knows in any of the councils in this country how much you are supposed to collect as income, because the senior management deliberately conclude with the collectors to make sure that fraud is perpetually done. And this is why you cannot get records of financial transactions. It's as simple as that. If you corrected issues from the beginning, you have told us in this commission that from 2018, things started going down the drain seriously. You had a system in place before. And in 2018, you understand, it went wrong altogether. Why? It's because senior management was not living up to what they are asked to do.
No, Ma, I think I will rectify you. I think what I wanted to say was that 2018 to 2020.
All right, I'm told that it's 1 o'clock, so we will come back, Mr. Batchily. Thank you.